So I'm making mac and cheese here, and I'm starting with my roux. I have 3 tablespoons of butter in my Dutch oven, and now I'm just seasoning my butter with garlic, onion, pepper, and paprika. Just going to go ahead and give that a quick stir, and then I'm going to go ahead and add in my 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. You want to make a roux here. So you're going to go ahead and place in the 3 tablespoons of flour, and then you're just going to cook the roux for a couple of minutes. You don't want it to get too dark, but you just want to cook the flour down a little bit. Then once you have the roux cooked down a bit, you're going to go ahead and add in your 3 cups of milk. You want to always remember the ratio. Whatever you use, it's going to be the same amount of liquid. So if you use a tablespoon of butter, a tablespoon of flour, it's going to be a cup of liquid. This is pretty much making a bechamel sauce. So it's just going to be your base sauce to go ahead and melt your cheese into. You're going to go ahead and cook that for a little bit until it slightly thickens, and then you're going to add in more seasonings. At this point, you're definitely going to need your onion, your garlic, your pepper, your paprika, and some salt as well. You're just going to let the sauce come together. It will thicken slightly, and then you're going to go ahead and just keep adjusting the seasonings to your liking. At that point, I just threw in some more salt just to make sure that I had enough seasoning, and then I'm ready to add in my cheeses. At this point, you can see that the sauce has slightly thickened, so we're now ready to add in our cheese. So I used about a half a block of the Velveeta queso blanco. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. You can also use American cheese. It's whatever cheese you prefer. I usually almost always have this on hand or some type of Velveeta on hand, so I always use Velveeta, and then I use brick cheese as well that I shred by myself. You can use the bag cheese too. I just find that it has a creamier texture if you shred your own cheese, because sometimes the bag cheese that's already pre-shredded has flour on it or like some type of like powder coating, whatever they preserve it with. So I just find it easier, and it tastes better to me if you shred your own cheese, and it's also creamier. Amazon has a really nice like rotary shredder that you can use to shred the cheese, or you can use a box grater. It's whatever is easier for you. And this is the luscious cheese sauce. So you're just going to keep melting down the Velveeta cubes until it's all completely smooth. And then once you have it completely smooth and completely melted, it's ready to assemble the macaroni. So during that process, you would cook your macaroni noodles as well. So now I'm just going to go ahead and scoop a few ladles of the cheese sauce and coat the pasta. I did use 2 types of pasta for this mac and cheese because I had a half a box of capatafi and I had a half a box of shells. So I did mix the 2. And now I'm just going to go ahead and get that cheese sauce all over the noodles and then mix it together. This is what it looks like when it's completely covered with the cheese sauce. You could basically eat it at that stage and not bake it, but we're going to go ahead and take it a step further, and we're going to give it a bake. So what I'm going to do is put half of my noodles down in my casserole dish. You're just going to spread out your noodles and make sure that you have a nice even layer. Then I'm going to go ahead and put some more shredded cheese on top of that layer. Now I'm ready to put another layer of the macaroni on top, which is going to be the last layer of my macaroni and cheese. So I'm going to go ahead and just spread that across the top. I just like putting a layer of cheese in between the noodles. It just makes it so much more gooier and cheesier. And then if I have any of the cheese sauce left over, I'm going to go ahead and spoon that over the top as well. And then I'm going to also put some more shredded cheese on top of that, just to make a nice melty layer on top. So I'm using up the rest of my shredded cheese that I shredded on my own. And then I did run out, so I'm going to use some bag shredded cheese as well. I always keep both on hand in the house just in case, because you might run out. So I'm going to go ahead and add on the triple cheddar that I have here on top as well. You're going to go ahead and bake it at 350 for about 25 minutes and then take the cover off and let the top brown. Thanks for watching.